All right, strap in, everyone. Today we're going deep on OpenAI.
The folks behind ChatGPT.
You got it. Hard to believe ChatGPT is only 2 years old.
Yeah,
It's gone from 100 million users to, 300 million?
over 300 million weekly users, actually.
Weekly. Okay, so that's crazy growth. And for this deep dive, we've got a lot to unpack, including thoughts from Sam Altman himself.
OpenAI's CEO.
Yep. We've also got analyses of how ChatGPT is shaking up all kinds of industries.
And some peeks into what they're cooking up next. It's really fascinating.
Oh, it's going to be good. So ChatGPT launched back in November 2022.
Yeah, November 2022. That feels like ages ago.
I know, right? But that was like a turning point in AI.
For sure. The way we're interacting with this tech now, I mean, nobody really saw this coming just a couple of years ago.
Okay, so let's start with Sam Altman.
The CEO.
Yeah. His blog post, Reflections, is super honest about everything that's gone down the past 2 years.
It's a really candid read. He talks about all the pressure, the rapid growth, and, that whole leadership drama last year.
With firing.
Right.
He doesn't shy away from the tough stuff at all.
And that whole thing really highlights the tricky situation OpenAI is in. They're trying to push the limits of AI, but...
They've got to do it responsibly.
Exactly. There are these huge questions about safety, control, and how to even run a company that's moving this fast.
It's a lot. Altman actually admits that the firing was a big failure of governance, but it seems like it was a wake-up call.
Definitely.
He said the past 2 years have been the most rewarding and the most fun, but also the most stressful of his life.
Wow, that's a roller coaster.
Totally. He specifically mentioned Ron Conway and Brian Chesky for stepping in to help when things went sideways.
Yeah, those are some big names. It's interesting to get those behind-the-scenes glimpses. But Altman also makes it clear how proud he is of what OpenAI has achieved, especially in research.
They've proved a lot of people wrong.
They have,
Mm-hmm.
and their goals are just getting bigger.
Speaking of big goals, did you see his prediction about AI agents?
Joining the workforce by 2025.
That's right. Like, that's not science fiction. That's right around the corner.
Yeah, it's a huge shift. We're not just talking about AI automating stuff anymore.
It's AI working with us.
Right? Like colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you wonder, what will these AI agents be like?
Will they just handle the boring stuff?
Yeah.
Or will they be, like, creative, solve problems like us?
Those are the big questions.
Big questions.
Yeah.
Okay, but before we go too far down that road, let's look at how ChatGPT is impacting things right now. One area is customer service.
Yeah, customer service. Think about those long wait times.
Ugh, the worst.
Right, those clunky automated menus. ChatGPT is changing all that.
For the better, hopefully.
Yeah, companies are realizing ChatGPT can handle tons of calls, provide support in different languages.
No more press 1 for English.
Hopefully not. And it can tailor responses to each customer. What's amazing is it's not just faster and more efficient. Customers are actually happier.
Higher satisfaction rates? That's impressive.
It is. There's this great example, Octopus Energy in the UK. They're using ChatGPT for customer service, and it's handling, get this, 44% of all their inquiries.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's like having 250 human agents, but ChatGPT is doing it while keeping customers happy.
That's game-changing.
Oh.
But it's not just call centers, right?
No, ChatGPT is popping up all over customer service, retail, finance, even healthcare. It's becoming that instant support people want.
Always on, personalized, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It's even helping companies get valuable insights from those interactions.
It makes you wonder, though, what happens to those customer service jobs as AI does more?
Right. Do they change? Do some just disappear? That's something we need to think about.
Big questions for sure. But ChatGPT is not just impacting customer service, it's shaking up marketing too. It's becoming the ultimate marketing assistant.
I like that, the ultimate sidekick. It helps create those super targeted campaigns that actually work.
Like a marketing guru on demand.
Imagine having an assistant who can write personalized content, find the latest trends, even qualify leads for you.
That's pretty much what ChatGPT does, right?
It is. It's like having your finger on the pulse of the whole internet. It's constantly analyzing data, looking for opportunities, and then it can write blog posts, social media updates, even those personalized emails that you actually open.
Because they're actually relevant to you.
Exactly. The power of personalization is huge. It's about making customers feel seen and understood. That's what builds loyalty.
And ChatGPT doesn't just create content in a vacuum. It can analyze tons of data to find those hidden trends. The stuff we might miss.
Right, that's the beauty of AI. It sees patterns and connections we don't. So businesses can stay ahead of the curve and adapt to what customers want.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. How is ChatGPT changing healthcare?
Oh, it's doing some amazing things.
Hmm.
From diagnosing illnesses to giving personalized advice, even mental health support. It's like having a virtual medical expert in your pocket.
Wow. Like you describe your symptoms and it tells you what might be wrong.
More than that, it can give you information about treatments, connect you with doctors, not replacing doctors, of course.
It's about empowering patients.
Exactly. Making healthcare easier to get.
And it's also helping doctors be more efficient.
Think about it. Automating tasks like analyzing records, suggesting diagnoses, even helping with research. It frees up doctors to focus on what's important, caring for their patients.
It's like having a tireless medical librarian working alongside you, pulling up the latest research instantly. And don't forget patient education.
Yeah, breaking down those complex medical terms into plain language so people can understand their own health.
Make informed decisions. It's incredible, but let's be real, there are bumps in the road. OpenAI has some serious challenges ahead.
Oh yeah, definitely. One of the biggest is data quality. These AI models need a ton of data to learn, but finding good quality data, that's not easy.
And it's not just finding enough data, it has to be accurate and unbiased.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've already seen how bias can creep into AI.
Leading to unfair or even harmful outcomes.
We're talking about systems that could make decisions impacting people's lives. We have to be really careful about making sure they're fair.
No bias.
Right. OpenAI is putting a lot of effort into that, but it's not just a technical issue.
It's a societal one, too.
For sure. And then there's the issue of computational power.
These AI models are like supercomputers.
Yeah, they need a lot of power to run. That means high costs and sometimes even delays in getting new features out.
Remember advanced voice mode?
They had to scale it back.
Because they didn't have the computing power. It's like trying to run a marathon on a treadmill. You can only go so fast before you hit the limits.
I like that analogy.
And speaking of limits, let's talk money. Even with all its popularity, OpenAI's losing money.
Yeah, the costs of running those massive systems are high. And the competition for top AI talent, fierce. Salaries are crazy high.
It's like a gold rush for AI experts.
Exactly. Then there's all the internal drama, leadership changes, people leaving. It's been a bit of a soap opera over there.
And let's not forget the legal challenges they're facing.
Copyright stuff, data privacy concerns, they're under a microscope.
It's a lot for any company to handle, especially one that's trying to change the world.
It's like they're building a rocket while it's already in flight. But to be fair, they seem committed to tackling these challenges. They're putting money into research, figuring out new ways to find and clean data, and making their models more efficient.
It's a balancing act. Innovation versus responsibility.
Exactly. They're pushing hard, but trying to stay in control.
So what's next for OpenAI and ChatGPT? What's coming down the line?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. So as we were saying, the future of OpenAI and ChatGPT, that's where things get really interesting. We were talking about AI agents joining the workforce by 2025.
Right. That's both exciting and a little scary, to be honest.
I get it. It's like, are we talking about Rosie the robot making us breakfast? Or are we talking about AI taking over our jobs? It's a big jump.
It is, even for someone like me who loves this stuff.
Well, it's understandable to have those mixed feelings. Anything new, there's that wait, what moment. But instead of picturing some sci-fi doomsday scenario, let's think about this. AI is a tool, right?
At the end of the day, yeah.
It's about how we use it. We humans.
Okay, so less Terminator, more helpful sidekick.
Exactly. But how do we make sure it stays that way? This technology is evolving so fast, it feels like we're making up the rules as we go.
We kind of are, aren't we?
Yeah. That's why we need to have these conversations now about the ethics, the potential for bias, the need for transparency. We have a chance to shape this tech so it benefits everyone.
Not just a select few. It's like the early days of the internet, right?
Yeah.
Nobody knew how it would change our lives, the good and the bad. We're at that same point with AI.
Totally. And just like the internet created whole new industries, jobs we couldn't have imagined before, AI can do the same thing. Disruption often leads to innovation.
So maybe instead of being scared of robots taking over, we should focus on how to adapt, thrive in this AI world. What skills will we need? What kind of jobs will pop up that we haven't even thought of yet?
Those are the questions. Think about it. The skills AI isn't good at. Critical thinking, solving problems, creativity, emotional intelligence. Those become even more important when AI is doing the routine stuff.
So it's like, it's not a bug, it's a feature. AI might push us to be more human.
And think about those human things. Connection, empathy, understanding those messy emotions. AI might process information faster, but it can't replicate that human touch.
It's that feeling you get when you talk to a real person on the phone instead of an automated system. You just can't replace that connection.
Exactly. So maybe instead of seeing AI as a threat, we should see it as a partner. Collaborate and achieve things we couldn't on our own.
More Iron Man and Jarvis, less Skynet and Judgment Day. I like that.
Right. Okay, let's get back to ChatGPT. What are some of the cool new features OpenAI is working on?
Yeah, let's get into the specifics.
Well, one of the most exciting things is this: enhanced multimodal capabilities.
Multimodal.
It means ChatGPT won't just understand text. It'll process images, audio, even video.
Hold on. So I could show ChatGPT a picture of, say, a rash I have and get its opinion, or play it a song and have it tell me the mood, or even write something similar.
You got it. ChatGPT will go from just text to something that interacts with the world more like we do.
And not just taking in different types of media, but creating them too.
Right.
So we're talking about ChatGPT composing music or making videos. That's wild.
It is pretty wild. And there's a lot of talk about a grown-up ChatGPT mode. What that means exactly, we don't know yet.
Maybe it's ChatGPT in a business suit ready to take on those big projects, or maybe it's just better at having those tricky conversations that need more nuance.
Who knows? But OpenAI is definitely not standing still. They're always pushing the boundaries, trying new things. And it's not just ChatGPT itself. They're building a whole system of AI tools, all designed to work together.
Like that AI model interoperability they've been talking about, connecting different AI models, each with their own strengths, to create something even more powerful.
Exactly. It's like putting together a team of AI Avengers. But of course, that makes things even more complex. How do we make sure these systems stay aligned with our goals, our values?
It's a question that just gets bigger with every new breakthrough. But for now, let's get back to those future plans for ChatGPT. One thing they're working on is improving its memory.
Project Moonshine, they call it.
Cute. So make ChatGPT smarter, better at remembering past conversations.
Right. It's like going from a goldfish to something that actually remembers what you talked about before
Yeah.
and uses that information to give better answers.
So it's like having a real conversation where the other person remembers what you said and builds on that. That would be huge.
It would,
Hmm.
especially for things like giving advice or writing creative stuff.
I can see that. And they're also working on making ChatGPT's search better, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Right now, ChatGPT can get information from the real world through Google search, but it doesn't always use it perfectly. It's like a brilliant researcher who sometimes forgets to cite their sources.
So the goal is to make it a more reliable research tool, one that can find good information on anything.
Exactly. And they're even talking about adding memory to the search. So it remembers your past searches and gives you even better results, like a research assistant who knows what you're interested in.
Pretty cool. And what about video? They launched Sora, their text-to-video AI, and it's already making waves. But they're not stopping there, are they?
No, Sora is a game changer for sure. You describe a scene and the AI makes a video of it. It's amazing for filmmakers, animators, anyone working with visuals. But it seems like they want to bring that video power to ChatGPT too.
Wait, so I could show ChatGPT a video, and it could analyze it, summarize the main points, maybe even respond with a new video.
It's mind-blowing, right, Abe? But that's OpenAI. They're ambitious. Remember, their ultimate goal is artificial general intelligence, AGI. An AI as smart as a human.
That's the holy grail.
It is, and they're not afraid to go for it.
AGI is definitely something people have strong feelings about, both good and bad. It's still way off in the future, though, right?
Yeah, we're not talking about sentient robots anytime soon. We're still in the early stages of AI, and AGI is a long way off, lots of technical and ethical challenges. But OpenAI is one of the leaders, and they're making progress.
It's like watching a rocket launch. You know it's a long trip, but it's powerful.
And while they're working towards that big goal, they're also thinking about the practical stuff, like family accounts. So more than one person can use a ChatGPT subscription.
Makes sense, like a family plan for your AI.
Right. They're also improving the memory and voice mode, so ChatGPT remembers past conversations, even the ones you had using your voice.
It'll feel more natural that way.
Exactly. It's about making things easier and more intuitive for people. And there are rumors about adding new voices, accents for voice mode too, make it even more fun.
I like that, making this tech more accessible, enjoyable for everyone.
It shows they're committed to using AI for good. It's not just about the tech, it's about how it can improve our lives for everyone.
That's what makes this whole thing so fascinating. It's not just code and algorithms, it's about changing the world, our future.
And that brings us to the big question. What does all this mean for you, the listener? How do you see ChatGPT and AI impacting your life, your career? It's something to think about as we go into the last part of our deep dive, where we'll talk about some of the challenges OpenAI is facing and what this rapidly evolving tech means for all of us.
We've explored a lot in our deep dive on OpenAI and ChatGPT.
From its incredible growth to its potential to change industries and even what work looks like.
It's been an amazing journey. We've seen how ChatGPT is already being used everywhere.
Customer service, marketing, healthcare, finance,
Yeah.
and we've gotten a glimpse of what OpenAI is planning for the future.
But there are some serious challenges and risks as this tech keeps evolving. We touched on these before, but it's worth another look as we wrap things up.
Absolutely. One of the biggest concerns with AI, something OpenAI is really focused on, is bias.
Right. Bias.
AI learns from huge amounts of data. And if that data has biases, the AI will have those same biases.
That's a big deal, especially if AI is being used in things like hiring, loan applications, even the justice system.
Exactly. We need to be incredibly careful about how we build these systems. Make sure they're fair for everyone. OpenAI is doing a lot of research on AI safety, but it's not just about the tech.
It's a societal issue, too.
Right. We need to talk about the ethics of AI. How do we make sure it's used responsibly in a way that benefits everyone, not just a few?
Everyone. Another challenge is data privacy. AI systems need so much data.
Tons of it. And that data often includes really personal stuff about us.
It makes you think about all those forms we fill out online, those apps that track everything we do.
We need to think about how that data is collected, stored, used. And how do we make sure people have control over their own information?
How do we do that? And then there's the big one, job displacement.
The elephant in the room.
As AI gets smarter, it can do more of the jobs humans do now. We're already seeing that in some places, and it's probably going to speed up.
It's a tough issue. On the one hand, automation can free us from doing boring or dangerous jobs.
Yeah, I see that.
But what happens to the people whose jobs are automated?
What happens to them?
We need to think about how to prepare people for the jobs of the future. What skills will they need?
Right, what skills?
But what about new economic models? How do we make sure everyone benefits from AI, not just a few?
It's not just about retraining workers, though, is it?
No.
We need to think about social safety nets, too. Make sure people have healthcare, education, all those essential things, even if their jobs disappear because of AI.
That's where ideas like universal basic income come in. How do we make sure everyone's taken care of when the way we work is changing so fast?
These are big, complex issues. No easy answers. But it's so important that we're talking about them now, before AI becomes so ingrained in our lives that we can't change course.
We can't just ignore these challenges and hope they go away.
We have to be involved in shaping the future of AI.
We do. And it's important to remember, AI isn't good or bad on its own.
It's a tool.
Right. It depends on how we use it.
We have the power to decide how AI is used, and with that comes a responsibility to make sure it's used ethically for the good of everyone.
For all of us.
So what can our listeners do to be part of this, to help guide AI in the right direction?
First, stay informed. Learn about AI, what it can do, and how it might change things. There are tons of resources out there, online, in libraries, even online courses.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Right. Talk to people about it, friends, family, colleagues. Share your concerns, your hopes, your ideas.
The more we talk, the better prepared we'll be for all of this.
Get involved in your community too. Go to events, join online groups, contact your elected officials, let your voice be heard.
And if you're feeling really ambitious,
Maybe think about a career in AI.
the field is booming.
They need talented people who can help develop and use AI in the right way.
Remember, the future of AI isn't set in stone.
It's a story we're all writing together.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into OpenAI and ChatGPT, we'll leave you with this. What role will you play in shaping the future of AI?
Thanks for joining us.
We hope this deep dive has given you some things to think about.
Until next time.
And that's a wrap on the deep dive. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the topics that matter.